How much hotter is Sam Tanner with a haircut, man? Woo.
Oh, he's a good-looking man.
I'm a fangirl.
Yeah.
Talk about frothy finishes. Kia ora koutou, and welcome to this week's special edition of Do Church Radio. I'm Matt Raymond.
I'm Ali Pottinger.
And I'm Andrew McDowell, and nobody asked, but I didn't get into Western States or Hard Rock. Thanks very much. Next time.
You've done Western States.
So, want to do it again?
Right. Quick check-in with everyone because we've had a big weekend and this is going to be a massive week of Dirt Church Radio content. How are we feeling, Andrew, after Kepler?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. Just quickly, I met Rocky, from further faster. I finally met Rocky down at Kepler. What a dude. Cool guy.
Yeah,
good
he's
chats.
a good man.
Feeling good. Obviously, we're going to do a Kepler special episode, because there's far too much to talk about here on the Spectacle. So that's coming out in a few more days after this. So I'll give the proper answer then. But basically, wicked weekend, amazing people, amazing scenes, great race, had a cool live show, basically thumbs up all the way back to Auckland. It was very cool.
Beautiful. Ali, how are you?
Tired, but I had a pretty good sleep last night, so I feel like I'm trending in the right direction, and now I'm just getting ready to pack my house up and move house on the 19th of December and then have Christmas.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, why not? Like, buy a house, have 6 weeks, work 3 different events and have a couple of businesses and a 3-year-old. Yeah, let's just do it all. Do it all.
Wow, Ali.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's how I am.
1 second at a time.
Yeah.
I feel comparatively bougie by comparison. I had like 11 hours sleep last night. Woke up, had a day off today. It was really good. I went for a run. Went and picked up the dogs. It was from the kennels, had a barbecue, listened to some reggae, as you do.
Some barbecue reggae.
It was, yeah.
Tell me you have adult children without telling me you have adult children.
Yeah, really.
Hey, and also, if this was the thing, I did my, and not to reference, I know that J.K. Rowling is like a dragon sitting on top of a pile of children's pocket money, but I did my waiting, 12 years of it in Azkaban.
Yes.
I paid my dues.
Yeah, fair.
So I am weeping to awards, and what have I got on this week? I got a job interview this week, which I'm pretty excited about.
That's
so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But, man, I just feel I've come away from this weekend just feeling incredibly inspired by being surrounded by the most epic humans all weekend. And I'm not just talking about, you couldn't swing a dead cat without either hitting an Olympian or someone like ran the Boston Marathon first, or Nathan Fa'avai. But
or Guy Williams.
He's a big man. He's a
say that without
big
snorting.
man.
You looked quite tiny next to him in the photos.
I'm a fully grown adult male, right? I'm like 5'11". So it looks like I'm like 5 foot tall. I am nearly 6 foot tall. I'm a big man. And when I saw him for the first time, I was like, he's one of the tallest human beings I've ever met in my life. Like, yeah, no, incredible. And he was, so you'll hear, but the man has one switch, and that switch is on and the knob's been broken off. Wow, incredible. But look, as Andrew said, we're going to do things a little bit differently this week. We're going to be releasing both the Spectacle Weekend Show today and Andrew's Kepler Adventure on Saturday, so that you're getting a double dose of goodness. What was a massive amount of racing in the South Island. So today,
the Spectacle Weekend, and what a weekend it was. From the elite 1 mile to 100 miles, it was absolutely huge. Oh, as well as an actual concert that closes the city. So just so much, just total love and appreciation and admiration for Jules and Annie and the rest of the team, who just put on like actually a spectacle. Like I've never been at an event that has that many turning cogs.
No, it was pretty huge, all right. And in today's episode, you're going to hear our conversations with women's 100-mile champ and Reefton's favourite daughter, Emma Timmis, men's 100-mile champ Blake Szymanski, Sam Harvey, Olympian Sam Tanner, and Kathrine Switzer and Roger Robinson, who are absolute Taonga of the running world.
And as a special treat, you'll also hear our conversation with New Zealand comedy legend Guy Williams, who was our co-host for the weekend. And he had very strong feelings about...
He's put us on notice.
Metrics. He's put us on notice. He's like, yeah, come on. Why are we using the term mile? Nobody uses mile anymore. So you'll find out his strong feelings about that.
He's wrong. Everyone uses mile all the time.
No.
Whatever.
But it was a really fun chat and we're pretty lucky to get to talk to him. You'll also hear our thoughts on the weekend and the Sunday morning post-race tiredness and Matt just sounding like he'd eaten a bucket of cigarettes or something. He's so croaky.
I honestly thought someone else had stolen the mic and was just pretending to be Matt. That's how different. You're going to hear it. It just sounds crazy.
Look, to be honest, I did let my emotions get the better of me during the Black Seeds. One of my favourite bands, and punk rock and reggae go together like peanut butter and chocolate. I hadn't seen them for 21 years. I remember going to San Fran.
I hate peanut butter and chocolate.
Andrew's
Find
You're
another
allowed to hate
metaphor.
peanut butter and chocolate.
It's
Well, they go
disgusting.
together. Okay, what's something that you like that goes together well?
Marmite and avocado.
Oh, yes. That is exquisite.
There you go.
If you haven't tried it, definitely have it. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we'll put a poll on our Substack of what's less of a psychopath combination.
Really?
Marmite and avocado or peanut butter and chocolate. But anyway, punk and reggae go together really well.
I'm winning this one.
Currently, you're outnumbered, Matt. 2 out of 3.
I'm Vox Day. I'm handing it to the people. But anyway, I love the Black Seeds. Hadn't seen them for 21 years. In fact, when Rebecca and I were in Wellington and we saw them at what was then Indigo but became San Fran Bathhouse, and Rebecca was like 9 months pregnant with Tom and she bought a Black Seeds t-shirt and like squeezed it over her belly. It was,
Lisa.
yeah, she'd reminded me. I'd forgotten about that, but it was amazing.
Aww.
And yeah, I was pretty croaky, but it was a really nice sort of cathartic end to what was for Ellie and I a 14-hour day on the mic in the blazing sun. It was amazing. And yeah, I sounded like, I don't know, a bunch of coins thrown into a broken washing machine by the end of it. So no regrets.
Excellent.
So without further delay, here's our recap of the 2025 Spectacle.
Welcome everyone to In Focus, the Spectacle panel. I'm Ali Pottinger.
And I am Matt Raymond. And we do apologise for those, we will be looking down at our phones. We're not on TikTok. There are notepads. So.
I'm just seeing if I get any new follows on Instagram.
Yeah. There you go.
Is that all? We are your trial MCs for this weekend and we are super stoked to be here for the second running of the Spectacle. And we are also super stoked to be able to host this panel today with all of the amazing humans that are going to be joining us. All apart from Sam Tanner, we've had the pleasure of joining us on Dirt Church Radio before.
Which is awesome. So please go back if you're interested. We've had Roger, we've had Kathrine, and we've had Sam several times. And our first guest, previous Spectacle 100-mile champ, returning Spectacle 100-mile champ, Guinness World Record Holder for, what did you do? Treadmill?
A few things. I put treadmill and insanity.
Treadmill insanity. Run the length of New Zealand, ran across Africa. Let's give it up for Emma Timmis. Emma, come on up. Emma, with all the large distances that you've run, is the temptation not to stop at the end of the 100-miler?
Absolutely no temptation. I will definitely be stopping if I get to the end, of course.
What is it that's brought you back this year to the Spectacle?
I was thinking about this and I've done a few milers. Some I want to repeat, some I don't. And I think the common denominator with the ones that I want to repeat is that at the end I swore I would never repeat them.
Right. So you take more the contrarian approach to it. So you get to the end, you're like, that was amazing. I nailed my nutrition plan. That went excellently. I'm never coming back.
Yeah, kind of the opposite of that. It was like, that was so terrible. That was awful. When I finished this one, I said, I never want to see a tree route ever again in my life. And then I kind of had this process of, that was really challenging and tree routes are really awful. Maybe I need to do that again.
Is it just the topography? Is that the challenging thing about the race? What else?
Yes, and the heat last year was pretty awful, but who knows what the temperature's going to be this year.
It looks hot outside.
Yeah. It's exactly the same forecast as last year. It was like forecast to be 25 and ended up being over 30.
So
same tomorrow.
Obviously last year was hot. Do you reckon that you nailed managing the heat last year? Is that something that you want to approach differently this year?
I love the heat. Yeah. So I think there was quite a dropout rate in the miler last year because of the heat. Mm-hmm. I think me and my crew, we dealt with the heat really well last year, and we've got a few more tools in the toolkit this year with the heat, if it goes that way. So yeah, I like the heat. I mean, I ran across Africa. Heat is my thing. At one point, the forecast was that it was going to be cold for tomorrow. And I was like, oh, how do we deal with this? I went and bought new gloves. Heat would be preferable for me.
But you do live in Reefton.
We get hot summers.
Do you?
Yeah.
Gasps from Emma's crew.
The mayor of Reefton over there.
And speaking of Reefton, you were telling us earlier you don't lock your door when you go away. So,
is that not normal in New Zealand?
I don't think so. What made you move there?
The trails. Yeah, Reefton's got the best trails. So lucky. And it seems to be a bit of a secret. I have the trails to myself. So, yeah.
Happy days.
Super lucky.
So if we were to ask you, do you like running solo or with a group?
I would love to run with a group. It's just not an option where I live. Yeah. Billy no mates.
Yeah.
You're the only person that runs in Reefton.
There's one other person who does long distance running.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess that's part of the challenge of living in small communities, and also New Zealand is a comparatively small place population-wise. We were talking about it before with this is the second edition of the Spectacle. It is got a bright future, but it is quite a grassroots start. How do grassroots events like the Spectacle in the longer distances, how do they encourage more female participation? What are some of the things in your mind that could be done not better but differently or going forward?
Good question. Definitely longer cut-off times is going to be more appealing to women. I guess a lot of things just come from the big picture of society and women being able to access more sports as a whole. That's obviously going to boost everything. I think having women out there doing it, I get a lot of messages from people saying that I've inspired them, being a female out there. So I think showing that, people like Kathrine, of course, very inspirational. Highlighting women, which obviously I know you guys do quite a lot. So I think highlighting the women that are doing it. But yeah, I think the cut-offs are a big thing. I don't know how many females are going to be in the A race tomorrow because the cut-off is quite tight. So yeah, extending that would be really nice, I think, for a lot of the racers out there.
Often, I mean, there's a lot of barriers to running for women, but often confidence is also a big one. What would you say to people that are thinking, can I go further, maybe twice the distance than what I've run before?
I guess one of the main things about doing the longer distances is that you can go slower. And I think people often don't think about that. They might have done a park run, they might have done a 5K, and they're like, that was really hard. I had to push the whole time for maybe 30, 40 minutes, push. But actually, the longer distances, you don't need to be pushing so hard. So it is quite different. And something that's really great about the Spectacle is, in terms of encouraging people into it, is that a lot of it is walking. because there's some real technical bits out there with the tree roots that you want to walk over. And I think that's quite a good thing for encouraging people into it, knowing like, I don't have to sprint for 100 miles. Like, you're going to be walking quite a bit. You can stop, you can eat. And I guess just kind of highlighting that is really good as well.
You've done a lot of stuff like running across Africa, running on a treadmill for 7 days. What's your favorite surface to run on? Track, road, trail, treadmill?
Trail.
It might not be. I mean,
I saw the treadmill out there. I was like, don't make me get on the treadmill.
Have you burnt your one or still got one at home?
I don't own one. I never have.
So you just took us 7 days you didn't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So I'll just run on one continuously for 7 days.
Yeah, that's my lifetime's worth of treadmill running.
How hard was that?
Awful.
What was the worst thing about it?
Being on the treadmill.
In terms of the surface or in terms of the fact that you're literally just running on the spot like a hamster?
Seasickness.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, so you get vertigo when you're on it. So you're managing that for 7 days, which is pretty rough.
How soon did that kick in?
Joe, I was looking at
45 minutes in.
No. 45 minutes to an hour in. Yeah. Okay. Oh.
I'd never even thought of that.
it's really horrible. Yeah.
Never spent more than 45 minutes on a treadmill, so
don't do it.
I'm not planning to. Hey, what do you have for someone out there who is thinking about like their first longer distance, and you said before, you've got to get to the briefing. You were talking about the thing that you'd say to people who hadn't done such longer distances. You don't, you can walk. You don't have to push hard the whole way at all. Do you have any kind of more succinct tip? Like, do you have anything that works for you? Like a hack, if I may be so bold. Anything that you do that thinks that you swear by?
Ooh. I don't know if this is a hack, and I don't know if this is useful to anyone. Like people used to always say, just think about the next marker. So whether that's the next aid station, the next time you can eat something, drink something, like little rewards along the way. I think actually something that I've started doing more as I do more of these events is not even focusing on those, but really just trying to bring it back to the present. And you can do this for a 5K or anything, but just really trying to think inside my body, like feeling my body. How are my legs? What does the air temperature feel like against my skin? Just really focusing on the now. What can you control? Is my breathing okay? I start to think a lot about like, can I feel tension anywhere in my body that there doesn't need to be any? Like, I know some people kind of clench their jaw. I'm guilty of like clenching my shoulders. People clench their fists when they're on. That's all like energy that you're wasting. So just really trying to relax and be in the moment and feel how your body is right now.
Speaking of feeling your body, you felt it for quite some distances, but you also obviously felt some big dreams. And what kind of made you act on those big dreams, like running across Africa or running the length of New Zealand? Like most people go, oh yeah, oh that'd be cool one day. But what made you actually go, let's give this a real crack?
I think I've often seen people have like a major event in their life and they go, I wish I had done X, Y, Z. I haven't had a major event, but I've always thought I don't want to have to be a person that thinks there could be a major event to make me do something. So if I want to do it, I'm going to do the thing. I also turned to like the big adventures, like the running across Africa, the running the length of New Zealand, because I had a lot of anxiety around races. So I actually didn't do racing for a very long time because it brought on so much anxiety for me that like days before the event, I'd be pacing around the house, unable to eat, feeling sick. So I just didn't do races, but I've always loved running and I like to run with some kind of purpose at the end of it. So for me, those big adventures, they never really caused me any anxiety because I wasn't competing against anyone else but myself. So that's kind of pushed me to do it.
And then how did you get through that anxiety to race now?
I was very Well, I don't have any anxiety. That was fine. But so the first race that I did when I decided I was going to get rid of this anxiety was Queenstown Marathon. And I used to live in Queenstown. So I was very methodical about this. And I went and ran every section of the marathon so that I had a very clear view in my mind of exactly what was going to happen. I thought how I want to feel when I'm in exactly all of those places. I rehearsed it in my mind. I did all kinds of weird mental tricks to try and overcome the anxiety. I set myself a bronze, silver, and gold target, and I printed out a certificate. So even if I did really terribly, I would get one certificate. I do a lot of weird things, but it works for me.
Who presented you with the certificate?
My ex-partner.
Right. That was like yourself.
Which certificate was it?
What kind? Oh, I got the gold.
You got the gold?
I got the gold. Just.
Yeah. Was it on your mind in those final stretches along the gardens?
No, I was like, I just want to get to the end. This is awful.
Amazing.
Well, look, we've got no doubt that you will get to the end tomorrow. Thank you for coming up, sharing your wisdom. We will let you get over to the race briefing, but please put your hands together for the wonderful Emma Timmis.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Sam, can we get you up? Sam Tanner? This Sam. Soft Sam, he says.
That's tough, Sam, over there.
Sam Tanner, he's a bit of a household name. 2-time Olympian, been to the Com Games, multiple-time New Zealand national champion, 1,500 metres in the mile, represented New Zealand at World Champs. Sam, when you're a bit older and perhaps a bit slower, which is all relative, and got a bit more time on your hands, are you going to give this ultra stuff a go?
Oh, don't tell Craig that question. Yeah, at least the marathon. We'll see after that. But I don't know. Well, we'll ask Julian if he's done a marathon yet, but his body's sometimes saying nah. So I don't know. Not all 1,500 meter runners get there, but I would like to. I think that's the goal. And not gonna push myself through the time to get there, but yeah.
Okay, so not anytime soon.
Hopefully not. My longest run to date's 32K.
Is it?
Sammy's probably done that, and a training run twice in one day or something. Actually, you've done that for a week or something. Anyway, yeah, it's great. It's good company we're around, and I'm on the speedier and shorter end, which is nice for me.
And you're a new dad, is that right? You've got a 5-week-old?
Yep. Speaking of ultras.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe now I know what it's got to be like.
You're learning about endurance.
No, 30-minute sleeps, and I just had a 10-minute nap upstairs before Julian called. So I was like, oh, that was reviving. Yeah, it was
some
good.
body fluids.
Yeah, we could go on.
Baby food. It's all there, really.
The breast milk tastes good.
Absolutely, it does.
Yeah, we were talking in the car on the way here, going, man, I wonder if there's any superpowers in that we can tap into.
Stem cells. Yeah. Stem cells.
Yeah. I mean, the bacteria killing properties is incredible.
Yeah.
So
wow, there we go.
Maybe if we're sick, get amongst that. Who knows?
Wow, I never expected this tangent.
No, I mean, look, if we could drink pickle juice, but and there would be I'm sure there would be a market, but I'm surprised no one's taken it to the market. But also,
you also don't want to be the guy to take it to the market, really.
And it would be a guy that would take it to the market too. You can't see any ethical issue with this.
But actually, there was that lady that got lost at a race years ago, and she drank her breast milk and had a chocolate bar, and she survived the night.
And everyone, and this is the thing, and I almost feel like I will own a sense of we've got lots of legends of the sport here. We've got 2 absolute legends of the sport here, and we're talking about someone drinking their own breast milk, getting lost during an Xterra in Wellington. And if you're all wondering, because we all wondered how she did it, and she explained it, she went on the news, she squirted it into the Moro wrapper and drank it.
That's right. Anyway, back to Sam and his new dad life. How will being a dad affect your running? Do you think it will help or hinder it?
Oh, time will tell. We might find out this weekend, to be honest. Training's been up and down. It's been pretty consistent, which has been the best thing. Mm-hmm. But it's just been hard because I'm tired. But we've got a little legend, so he's a good sleeper, and it's just such a miracle to have you know, an opportunity to be a dad, and some people battle with that. So, yeah, we feel pretty blessed, and I think it'll be pretty exciting to hopefully see how the dad strength turns up on Saturday night.
Have you had time to reflect on how becoming a parent contextualizes other things in your life, like running? You know, you are different from 99.9% of other people in that running is your job. Yep. You know, so you have time, but also it's something that you obviously, something that it's become your job because you're so talented of it. Has that process of becoming a parent with your partner changed your thoughts around running or your approach to it, or where it sits in your life?
Yeah, as a career, it's my contract with Puma's up at the end of the year, and hoping to renew. But you know, that alongside being a new dad is kind of like, whoa, it's, you know, more to life than just running, and so trying to still have the competitiveness and the drive to just push yourself as hard as you possibly can in every training and when necessary, and then also balancing like life stuff is actually tricky. And I feel like I've got a good little system going at the moment, because alongside being new dad and having that realization, I've also got Sam Ruth as one of my training partners, and that kid can turn up to every workout feeling as fresh as a daisy and go balls to the wall every single time. And so I'm having to go, oh, I got to get competitive again. Let's go. Like, make sure I'm going to thrash myself. But it's, yeah, it's a good little challenge.
I guess it's that next stage of life thing, hey, because Sam Ruth is essentially, and, you know, with his generational precocious talent, but he's a kid.
Yep.
So he's still at home. You're now a parent. That changes just the dynamic, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. And he, you know, even though he's such a good training partner, he doesn't have all the extra stuff that comes with dad life and owning a house and, you know, contractual obligations and things. So he's kind of living the dream, really, isn't he? I mean, I am too, to be honest. We were talking actually today, Melissa and I were going, man, people go, oh, yeah, you know, your life's so great being a runner, but, you know, don't you get sick of not ever having a day off? I'm like, oh, well, not really, because my life, as I see it, is a holiday, and I just get to do the thing I love, which is kind of amazing. And I'm blessed enough to be able to bring my wife and new baby around the world, hopefully this year. So it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. And speaking about Sam Ruth, and obviously your young baby, you're a role model and a Māori role model. What do you think are barriers to Māori getting into athletics?
Oh, I don't know. That's actually a really good question. Probably role models, to be honest. There's probably just not that many of them, and so your pathway is everything, right? Like there's I think what is it? Whāia te ara means follow the pathway, and so I was thinking about making something for kids, and it may be in the pipeline, may not be, to do exactly that, and to create a pathway for Māori, but not necessarily just Māori kids, but you know, into athletics and into professional sport, because I think the line to professional sport and the trajectory coming out of New Zealand is not always easy, and you know, that's kind of why I went to the US on scholarship, and that helped create a more distinct pathway for me, and that worked. But you know, it doesn't always work to leave home, and especially if you've got a good system going and good training environment and good buddies. Taonga up here, where we live is an incredible spot now, and so if we can get funding and that sort of stuff for kids to stay, then it's awesome. But yeah, if more Māori want to look up to me and start running, then heck yeah, do it. We got good genes and there's talent out there, so it's good to see.
And I guess that's the thing, isn't it? You have those role models. Not there's your level, but there's a big gap to get from the kid who wants to start running to you. So there's the role models at every other level, hey?
Yeah.
Well, the supports, and that's where it kind of filters down.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, the thing is, well, my kind of mindset has always been just look up here, and if you fall here, you're probably still going to surprise yourself with how good you do. You know, that was one of the principles I followed when I set goals for myself, is always set goals 2 seconds faster than what I thought I was capable of running. And then so I was always going, you know, maybe there was a little bit more in the tank, but then you don't really have anything to complain about, and you also at the same time get really good at dealing with disappointment, which is kind of two things that people who want to get to here need to learn really quickly. And so I think that's probably why I've found success in running as well.
And you've had a lot of success. So what are the future goals for you?
Well, a couple of the big ones. Obviously the last couple of years have been pretty rough with just Achilles niggles and trying to get back into racing and race confidence and that sort of stuff. But the big ones still remain in front of me, and it's kind of been frustrating this last couple of years because I know I've been fit enough to do them, but haven't raced to run 3:29. So the goal is Willis's 1500 record and Walker's mile record. Those are two big ones. Olympic final. But when you go that fast, there can't be a moment of hesitation in the race, and it's so rare, unless you get into the fastest diamond league of the year, and then there's one or maybe two. And if that does happen, you can't get caught behind someone who is not having a good day, because if they don't have a good day, you're running so fast, it's so hard to pass them. So if they drop off, you're gone, and that's your time gone. And because you're just riding the line that closely, unless you're in 3:26 shape, 3:29 is a remarkable time to get. And so for Nick to set that so many years ago now is pretty remarkable. But yeah, it's definitely something that's on the cards for this year, hopefully.
There'll be some of our listeners crouched at the side of a trail covered in leaves, sort of banging their knuckles on the ground, going through 29 for 1,500 meters. I can't compute that. Me included. But what it highlights, I guess, is this, and again, looking at the diversity of people in the room and how hyper siloed running has become. Mm-hmm. You know, from something that's, just put on some shoes and go running. Now it's what sort of shoes, what distance, what the
carbon fiber.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. The spectacle is quite unique, and because it sees a road mile alongside
100 mile.
Yeah, 100 mile distance, and it seems a bit of almost a little bit anachronistic, bit of a throwback. But like, what are your thoughts on the future of such events like this?
Oh, it is. This is hands down the coolest event I have ever been to, and I've been to some flippin' cool events,
like 2 Olympics.
Yeah. But like individual meets, the Olympics is, I think, in a different category. But this would actually, for as far as accommodation and like treating your athletes well, almost better than the Olympics, because Olympics is just so big that there's no focus on anyone in particular. Whereas this, somehow, the Spectacle have done such an incredible job of keeping it somehow community focused, you know, with the Nelson community getting involved, but also athlete focused. And then you've got the specialty athletes and here and there and cool pickups and things. And it's just awesome. And so, you know, I've been to some awesome diamond leagues in Switzerland and things, and you don't get the treatment that you get here. And so this is what makes events like this so special, and why I think New Zealand is going to profit from this, and hopefully this grows into something pretty cool.
Are there any athletes that you'd like to race against next year? Can we shout them out?
Oh, I've been messaging a couple of them. I messaged Cole Locker the other day, and he's like, "Oh yeah, December, okay, maybe," and then seened me. So we got halfway there, and then a couple others, but I won't call them out because they didn't reply.
No, call them out.
Call them out.
Jakob. Then he messaged me and said, "Congratulations on the new baby." So I was like, "Okay, thanks, bro."
This is a bit of a. We've got, it can't all be about running. If 10 years from now, future you could send yourself, now you one photo, who would you want to see in it and why? Like a Back to the Future thing.
Oh, that's so hard.
You thought you were going to come in here, we were going to ask you about your splits, we've asked you about barrier access.
Yeah, it's good.
For iwi, you know.
Who do I want to see in the photo?
Yeah.
If I'm looking at it today from 10 years' time.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you want to see?
Well, I'd like to see a couple of records on the plaques and things on the wall, and maybe Olympic medal. That'd be great. But who would I want to see in them? Probably just family. See how many kids we have in the next 10 years. Yeah, I don't know. Melissa goes before I came down. She goes, "Man, I love babies. I could have 10 of these. I don't know if I could do postpartum 10 times." So I was like, "That is so fair." Yeah. So probably just family, but yeah, I think family is the only answer there.
It's amazing. See, this is the benefit of trail running. You got more time to think up questions.
Yeah, it's true.
You're trying to run 3:26 for 1,500 meters.
I want to know what your race mantra is, Sam.
Race mantra?
Yeah. What do you say to yourself when you're racing?
There's probably not enough time to think about
it's over too quick.
Yeah. Hold on. Probably the thing is, don't take your foot off the gas, because if you take your foot off the gas, you turn 3:30 into 3:35 real quick. And when you're going that fast, you can't go back on it. You can't step back on it. So that, or just if it's a slow race, just sit and kick, relax, and kick. But yeah, there's multiple things to think about, especially in the last 200 meters. You're just like, whether it's cadence, or if it's, lean forward, don't, chin down, and all those sorts of cues. Those are all great. But yeah, there's not too much thinking going on, ideally. In the perfect 1,500, I don't think at all. It's just like instinct, go, move. That's why 5K sounds terrible, and then the 100-miler sounds like, oh.
It's so much time to think.
Oh, you don't want to be in my head, that's for sure. That's what I respect about the ultra guys. It's like, you guys must have some pretty cool thoughts, or some really scary thoughts.
Scary thoughts.
But yeah, it's different ball game, that's for sure.
Well, look, thank you for joining us. It's incredible to be sitting with you, a legit Olympian, and those insights into, for me particularly, that the not even the microsecond of hesitation. That's such an incredible insight into what it takes to get to where you are. Good luck for your run on the weekend. You are running?
Yeah.
You are running?
Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday at 8 o'clock.
10K.
Yeah, 10K. Yeah.
Put your hands together for Sam Tanner. Too much Sam energy in the room. Come on, Sam Harvey, welcome him up. Previous Spectacle 50K champ, second at the Dead Cow Gully Backyard Ultra Marathon, the second furthest distance run at a Backyard Ultra, the winner of the Tarawera, you can't have that one, the winner of the Tarawera 100 mile and the Ultra Trail Kosciuszko 100 mile, Mr. Sam Harvey.
Cheers.
First thing I wanted to ask you, are you okay?
I am seeing a psychologist next week, actually.
Well, I mean, in the wider, there's lots of people who, what you've achieved, what you've done, probably asking that in the wider sense, like, is this dude okay? But also, I just wanted to know specifically, the last couple of months, you've literally torn some meat off your bones. However you want to answer.
We can go where you want to go, Sam.
Mentally and physically, a little bit cooked. Physically, I'm actually pretty sound right now. I'm the most healthy I've probably been since the lead up to Tarawera, which is when I first got injured. So I spent pretty much all this year injured or recovering from an injury, only to recover and then go and do a big race and get injured. So I tore both of my adductors and my abdominal muscles off the bone during Tarawera, about 120 Ks, and then the last 40 Ks of that race was agony. But I still won it, which was good. But then I was very not good for the next few months. And then I rehabbed that after about 3 or 4 months and got healthy, got the green light 2 weeks before Dead Cow Gully, and then ran 790 Ks and tore both my Achilles. And it's basically taken up until the last 3 or 4 weeks. I think there's technically still a tear in both of them, but I'm now running and I'm back to 100 plus K weeks, so that's cool. And this will be my first point-to-point race since February, since Tarawera, which is at the opposite end of the spectrum compared to last year, because last year I ran 11 ultra marathons, and this year I've run 3.
Can I ask you a question with all due respect? And we know each other, so this isn't in any way meant to be challenging or derisive. You know, you got the dub at Tarawera, and you hurt yourself. Looking back, was it worth it?
Hell yeah.
Right.
Hell yeah.
What about the process of recovery through this?
If I had have gotten second to Simon Cochrane, then it might not have been worth it, but I won it, so I'm happy with that. Rehab. Yeah, I mean, this year, rather than being just like charge and come in smashing with hammers like I typically always do, this year has been a little bit more of a mindfulness practice of ride the wave and be okay with it if you're not riding the wave. And now I'm chill in pretty much any situation now. So like, hence, yeah, I've been okay with this year, and now I'm like super thankful that I'm running again, because it's like, cool, we can go back to slamming. Did that answer the question?
Seems okay, yeah.
So what's your approach going to be going forward? Like, what's this next year going to look like for you? Are things going to be different, or are you going to go back to the same approach? Or
I think the mantra, I think before I had even finished Dead Cow Gully, was have more fun, because like I've been doing some outrageously big runs and probably have like a little bit of PTSD associated with like 4 or 5 days at a time of like force feeding and sleep deprivation and such, and that's not super fun, and I don't want to not enjoy running. So yeah, trying to do more 50s and more not break yourself kind of races. So yeah, I'm doing the 50 here. I would have liked to have gone further, but we're just going to do the 50. Tarawera, I'll just do the 50. And yeah, so still get to take part, but not.
I don't know, 50 Ks of send is pretty is something quite serious too.
I've spent weeks limping after a solid 50K send, but just the chances of hurting myself or the recovery time required, regardless of how well it goes, is obviously increased on a good 100-mile race. Yeah, so 50, and then I've got Cocodona 250 in May. So that's a little bit longer.
And so how does Cocodona count as fun?
Well, I've never raced in Arizona before, so it'll be a new area. I'm not taking my family with me, so I've got like a number of athletes that I coach in America and New Zealand that are keen to come and crew me, so it's going to be a bit of a lads trip. So rather than it being the whole family affair, every now and then I'll do a race where it'll be like the lads on tour, and it's fun. Yeah, so that's the plan for Cocodona.
And I guess that I applaud you speaking really honestly about this stuff, because again, I did describe you as like, what was the exact quote? Like someone letting fireworks off in your kitchen. You know, you have that kind of, especially on social media, you're like, just do this, rah, rah, rah. And it's like, cool, that's awesome. And that doesn't work for everyone, even if the intent is clear, right? And the intent and what you say is the truth. One of the things you said the other day, I was like, this is awesome. You were like, put together really nice blocks of training. Don't smash yourself all the time. Don't just go heading for the races. So when was that? When did that light flick on?
Oh, that was just because
was that satire?
No, that was because I'm currently coaching quite a disproportionately large amount of athletes who are just trying to do like heroic shit all the time, and I'm just like, hey, let's do less heroic shit all the time and be a little bit more consistent on our training, so you can actually do the heroic shit rather than just like breaking. Because these aren't pro runners, these aren't maybe elite guys, they're guys that are trying to replicate what some of the elite guys are doing. Absolutely. And it's like, you still need a solid foundation to be able to do that stuff. You can't just go and throw things at the wall and hope it sticks.
It's somewhat of a curse of our modern age, isn't it? Because, and I guess this is the thing, when we were reading books about it, or seeking it out, or and I sound ancient. In my day, when we had Unbroken, the DVD, and we pirated the DVD and handed that round, search that up if you don't know what Unbroken is. But everything, you go on Instagram now and see someone's like put together a really good reel and it looks really good and it looks hard, but actually all the source that you need, all the steps that you need to get into it, that's what people don't see, right?
100%.
Cocodona 250, I mean, I guess the change with that too, and the challenge with that is, it stops at 250. It's not like you're and some dude.
100%. I think that's, like even pretty much every distance that I race, 50K, 100K, 100 mile, especially 100 mile, it's like, it's a long way, but for 95% of the elite guys that I'm racing against, it's the longest distance that they've ever raced, and therefore they're kind of scared about it. And I'm like, bro, we're going to sleep tonight. Like, we're sleeping in a bed tonight. And so I'm chill about it. 250 miles point to point will be a little bit different because, there might be 20 miles between aid stations. So it's a lot more carrying stuff. But at the end of the day, it is 250 miles and it's not going to take us a week to run. So that's kind of the light at the end of the tunnel.
Do you have you talked about that sense of that PTSD or that acute PTSD, and then it's a very accurate description, and then you're balancing it with this thing of, they do heroic shit. Do you still have you've come as close, you've sailed over a world record, right? And you've done that twice. Do you still have that drive to go one more?
I do, but at the same time, I've kind of, I guess it has been this year of, I've climbed to the top of the mountain twice and pissed off the top. So I'm like, I don't actually need to prove myself anymore. So, and I guess I deal with a lot of young elite athletes who are going through the process of everything's real serious, everything's hammer and tongs because they're trying to prove themselves. Like, they're trying to carve their place in the sport, where I've kind of been there, and now I'm just like, oh, actually, now I can just chill. Now I'm just like, I'm way more relaxed. Like, if I win, good. I would prefer to win, but if not, like walking away from bigs after 24 loops in October 2 years ago, I couldn't have done that. Like, no. two years ago, I was there to win it and made a mistake, which cost me towards the end of the race. This time I was just like, you know what? I'm cooked. I've had some really good results this year. I'll turn up. I'll run with my friends, and then I'll probably pull out early. Maybe my body will be okay, and I'll be able to send it and win the world championship. But if not, I'll just pull out early. I've turned up, and I'm okay with that result because the world record was only three months prior. So don't have to win everything.
Words of wisdom. You don't have to win everything. All right, Sam. Look, we'll let you rest because you're going to send it Saturday. So there's so many races. And Ali and I are going to be at all of them. So we're a little bit confused, but have a good rest. It's great to see you here, and all the best for Saturday.
Sure, brother.
Mr. Sam Harvey.
Yep.
Right. Next up, running the 5K and launching 261 in Nelson, we have Kathrine Switzer. We will change the tone a little bit.
The tone has changed throughout this. We're just a panel of dead set legends.
So, Kathrine, I'm going to do a bit more of an intro than just that because you deserve more of an intro than just that. So, Kathrine Switzer was bib 261, and she is the first woman to officially enter and complete the Boston Marathon in 1967 after registering as KV Switzer at a time when women weren't allowed to run in sanctioned marathons. She won the 1974 New York City Marathon, ran 251 at Boston in 1975, and she played a major role in women being officially accepted into marathons and in the eventual introduction of the Women's Olympic Marathon in 1984. And Kathrine, my question for you is, can we grab your bank account details? because race directors around the world should be sending you commission for giving them 50% more of a start line.
Oh, that would be cool, wouldn't it? It's funny about running. There only rarely is there financial remuneration. No, it's been an amazing ride. What can I say? The incident in the Boston Marathon, which I think everybody knows. Okay, I brought my old bib. Only
Wow.
Well, it's a fake.
Oh, it's a fake.
Oh, no, but the real one's going to the Smithsonian, which is really cool.
Fair.
Okay. But anyway, there were no rules about women being forbidden to run. They just didn't have the event.
Okay.
And I had been training. I was 19, and I was training with a 50-year-old guy. My God, ancient, really. And
Careful.
Yeah, but he had run Boston 15 times, and I told him on one snowy night. This is up in Syracuse, where they had 9 meters of snow the first year I was there. If you can imagine, I mean, it's just unbelievable. And on one snowy night, he was telling me yet another Boston Marathon story. And I said, oh, let's just quit talking about the damn thing and run it. And he said, well, a woman can't possibly run the Boston Marathon. And I said, why not? And he said, well, women are too weak and too fragile. And I said, well, we're running 10 miles here in a blizzard in the dark.
Yeah.
And I'm out here every night with you. And he said, yes, but 10 is not 26. And I said, no kidding. I mean, but if I've gone from 1 to 10, why can't I go from 10 to 26? And we argued. And I told him that a woman actually had jumped out of the bushes and run the Boston Marathon the year before, and he wouldn't believe this. And actually throughout history, women have run the marathon. Not throughout history, but Millie Sampson here in New Zealand, 1964, set a world record with her club, got her out, and she ran the marathon. She was a very good runner and legendary in New Zealand. And Dale Gregg in Great Britain. But these women were unheralded. I didn't know about them. Anyway, so when I convinced my coach, we ran 50 Ks actually in practice one day. And we were only going to be running the 42, but I thought we had mismeasured the course, and we argued. And I said, come on, let's just keep going. Let's just, get another, 5 miles in here. And he didn't believe that I could do that. And I did, and he didn't. He passed out. He passed out at the end of this workout. Then he was utterly convinced and insisted I register for the race. And I said, well, there was got to be a reason why other women haven't done this. And he said, well, because they haven't tried. And look, there's nothing in the rule book that forbids it, and there was nothing on the entry form about gender. So I signed my name, KV Switzer. Honestly, it wasn't to defraud anybody. That's how I signed my name. Long story. My dad misspelled my name. On my birth certificate, it was always misspelled. He left the E out of the Kathrine. So I just started writing. I was writing a lot of sports. I was at a journalism school. And so I was signing on my copy, KV Switzer. It's how I signed the entry form. If I hadn't done that, probably, I certainly wouldn't have gotten the entry, I'm sure. But anyway, the morning of the race also, it was snowing and sleeting. Instead of being in my cute outfit that I had all prepared, I had to wear my baggy sweats. We looked like refugees. We had on everything we owned because it was really bitter. Worst conditions in Boston up to 2018 when they had the hurricane. I mean, it was just horrific with snow and sleet, headwind from the ocean. And anyway, they got started on time, but they were hassled. The officials were irritated, and down the road we went, and the officials' truck came alongside of us. The press truck was in front of us, and the officials' truck alongside of us. And the co-race director just got so furious that a woman was in his race wearing a bib. He just lost it and jumped off the bus and went after me and tackled me in the race and tried to rip my bib number off. That's why that corner is torn, because he got the bib on my back, but not the one on my front, because I jumped away from him, but he got the one on the front. Well, my boyfriend was also running with me, and he happened to be how much is 235 pounds?
About me.
What?
About me.
Well, how many kilos are you?
Just north of 100.
Okay. So he's over 100 kilos, right? And so he threw a crossbody block into the official, knocked him on his ass. And my coach said, "Run like hell." And it's hilarious in the retelling, but it was an awful, awful incident.
Yeah.
because this official was just out of control. And then the media was all over me. You know, what are you trying to prove? But it was the moment that changed my life, definitely. Not only because of the photographs of the incident, but also because I carried on and I was determined. I mean, I was a kid, you know, just 20, to finish no matter what. And I really got very, very, very upset for women. I had up to that point thought it was women's fault that they weren't doing anything adventurous or exciting or challenging themselves. And suddenly I realized the reason, you know, that they weren't in Harvard University is because Harvard wouldn't even let them apply. And the reason they didn't have leadership jobs in major management is because they could never, you know, qualify or compete because they couldn't have the same education or the same training and the same challenges. And so I was absolutely determined by the time I finished the race to change the system. And I always had the advantage of that photograph, which was considered by some very funny and others absolutely outrageous, but it was a real turning moment in women's sports and even in women's rights. I started working in the system. I learned how to organize races, learned how to take leadership positions. I got inside the system and took roles in the federation. I had to suck up a lot, but we worked very, very hard at it. I got the medical evidence together. And then one of the best things I ever did was I wrote a proposal. I was supposed to write a book proposal, but wound up writing a management proposal to a company to sponsor women's running. And it was a big risk that they were taking. And I convinced them that they could get incredible publicity by doing this. And they did. They got millions of dollars worth of publicity. It was Avon Cosmetics at the time, the world's largest cosmetics company. And having a feminine company made it safe for women.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay because we're going to be wearing lipstick. No, it made it acceptable and fun and welcoming. And we made it competitive up front. But we treated the last finisher as well as the first winner. And eventually we had this program. It was about 8 years so that I was doing this. And eventually we had over 400 races in 27 countries. And therefore I had enough countries to convince the International Olympic Committee to put the women's marathon in the Olympic Games because they were requiring 25 countries in 3 continents. We had 27 in 5. And they voted it in 1981 for the 84 games. And I guess everybody in this room is still too young to remember that moment in the Olympic Stadium when Joan Benoit Samuelson came in and won the race. And it was incredible that this whole stadium was erupting for this woman because everybody understands, you know, the distance of the marathon. But more importantly to me were the 2.2 billion people watching it on television, because there were countries in the world who don't let women go out of, even today, let women go out of the house alone, much less run and to run a marathon. But everybody knows the distance. You know, they don't know time, but they know distance. So everybody in the world knows 42.2 Ks or 26.2 miles because they've walked it or ridden a donkey or a bike or driven a car over the distance. They know it's far.
Yeah.
And there were women running it. It's this incredible moment and a victory for women everywhere. So I'm very, very proud of that. Now, at the same time, so I'm not getting any word in edgewise here. Yeah, okay. So it's an interesting story. So actually, in time, that number, 261, became a number meaning fearless in the face of adversity. It was hilarious at first because people were emailing me and saying, that number makes me feel fearless. I'm wearing it on my back tomorrow on my first marathon. And, well, that's a tattoo. And there's a story about that, too. So anyway, and then they began inking it on their arms and triathlons and makes me feel fearless. They kept using the word fearless. And I got to thinking I better copyright that because Nike's going to grab it if I don't. And so I did. And when people started sending me pictures of their tattoos, that's when I really took it seriously. Because it gave me the creeps, kind of, you know. I just, what, you know, some of this tattooing. Anyway, so in 1970, I ran the Boston Marathon. 2017, I ran the Boston Marathon at age 70 because it was the 50th anniversary. And I was let's see, because I'm old, right? I was the first woman to run a marathon 50 years after she ran her first one. So I was really pleased with that. And I decided to get my own tattoo with 261 Fearless. So anyway, but what's interesting is that 261, okay, Fearless, now we've taken that inspiration and created a nonprofit that empowers women through running, because running is empowering for every woman, every time. And if you want to lift a woman up, show her how to run. If you want her to take charge of her life, give her an education. And that's what we do. We have an educational program and then a series of club leaders who are trained with a really good coaching system. And we are now, I'm so excited to say we're only 10 years old, and we're already in 14 countries. And we're absolutely gangbusters in the North Island. But one reason we're here at the Spectacle is because this wonderful event reaches out to so many people in the community. To me, it's sort of the epitome of the South Island. And we're have a table out in the expo area trying to interest women in joining us, just to get other women to take the first step. Mm-hmm. I'm sure both of you have been around women who you say, hey, come on and just jog with us, walk with us, run with us. Oh, I'm not really a runner. I'm too fat. I'm too old. I'm too slow. They give you every excuse. And we say, come on, just come out and be with us. And so suddenly they're part of the community, and they start having that sense of movement, that sense of empowerment, and it totally changes their lives. Mm-hmm. So that's what we want to do. And we want to get them out. We want to get them out from behind the closed door at home. We want them to have a community and to have that same sense of empowerment. Sam was talking about the Maori community earlier. I would give my eye teeth to get into the Maori community and give those women an opportunity as well. Mm-hmm. But they're very, very self-conscious. It's also not my culture. Mm-hmm. So hopefully I can begin to recruit some Maori coaches. Awesome. And I think it could be very special, very, very special. So that's kind of a dream. And also to continue in the South Island. So there we go. Anyway, sorry, there we go. Now, you're ready for the next candidate.
This has been amazing, Kathrine.
Yeah, it's been amazing. It has been amazing. I think the moral to the story is it's not what happens to you in life that matters, it's what you do with it. Mm-hmm. I could have walked off the course and just been pissed off for the rest of my life. Yeah. I mean, I was angry. I was really angry. But the official was very angry too. Fortunately, as we've been talking, when you run long enough, you don't get angry anymore. And during that race, I got over the anger, forgave the official. He was a product of his time, and realized I just had to change minds of people like that.
Did you ever hear from him after that?
Yes, the next day he called a press conference, and he said 4 hours and 20 minutes. I could have walked it that fast.
Oh.
And then they asked me, what did I think about that? I said, I feel really sorry for him, and I'm going to show him that women should run too and that it'll be fine. And I kept forgiving him, and every headlines, Marathon Girl forgiving, like it was my fault. Anyway, he and I became best of buddies. He was a great supporter. In 1972, women were allowed in the Boston Marathon for the first time. He still had a burr under his saddle about it, though, because I got a trophy in that race. And the trophy was actually broken in the packing. And when he handed it to me, he was sort of unmanned because, he's presenting me, of all people, with a trophy that's broken. He said, look, I'm really sorry. No. And he said, I've been mad at you for 5 years, and you deserve a broken trophy. He was a hard case. Let me tell you, he was a very hard case. But he and I became really good friends, and I was with him a few hours before he died, because how could I not be? I mean, he changed my life so completely.
Yeah. And you must have changed his as well.
What?
You must have changed his a lot as well.
Yeah. He was very happy about being a partner in eventually in making it happen. Yeah. And of course, I mean, even though he probably hated the picture, he also loved the picture. I felt sorry when I walked out of the hospital when he was dying. I said to friends with me, I said, he's done many things for running. Many, many things. And in tough time, he came from a very tough background. And running was his salvation, which I understood, because running was my salvation. And many salvations for all of us, right? Yeah. But I said to my friends, I said, no matter what he has done in running, the New York Times tomorrow is going to publish his obituary, and it's going to have that picture.
Yeah.
And it did.
Well, to be fair, you deserve to be, that's okay. He did other things in his life, but that's probably an appropriate photo to put in there because that was rightly or wrongly what he was best known for.
Well, when I die, they're going to publish the photo too.
Yeah. They are. Yeah, they will. But that strong image, they say a picture paints 1,000 words, and that strong image, you see it, and if you haven't seen it before, have a look. But that strong image really lights a fire. Like, it says a lot, and I can see how if it wasn't that the image that it is, it probably wouldn't have lit a fire under so many people and been a catalyst for change.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as, well, this is my generation again, but like it was the pictures of the horror out of Vietnam, which ended that war, really. And what's happening in Gaza now is changing the world. So photographs are extremely important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You lucky people in the presence of an absolute legend. And I think about it in sense of, so I am married to a woman who runs marathons and ultra marathons. I have 2 daughters and a son. My middle daughter is currently in Japan. She self-funded a trip when she finished school. She hasn't decided which degree she's going to do at the moment. She ran 2 marathons before she was 15. Before she was 15, yeah, she's stubborn, and a legend. And that's the thing. It's she comes from a strong line of strong women, and you normalize that process. That's one more battle that she didn't have to fight. Or maybe that is a battle that she had to fight, right? Because her friends were still like, what are you doing? You're stupid. You're this, you're that, you're the other thing. But that's one barrier, one door that you kicked in. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Does it ever are you just like, God damn it, can people just be a bit cooler to women? Does it get tiring advocating for things? Just like having to advocate all the time? Is it?
Well, it's getting tiring right now. I mean, in the U.S., the government, is giving women an extremely hard time, and then reverting everybody back to Barbie dolls. It's really very, very scary. So, yeah, we've got to be out there marching the streets again. It's just, yeah, it's relentless. There's a price for freedom, though.
There is a price for freedom. And look, thank you so much for being here. It's a highlight of the last 7 years to finally get to meet you. Please give it up for the mighty KV Switzer.
Thank you.
How are you going to run tomorrow? No, there's no cuts there. Roger Robbins said, get up here. Look, again, keeping the legend from start to finish in this panel, and legendary people. Roger ran internationally from the mid-1960s to the mid-1990s, first for England, then for New Zealand, including representing New Zealand at the 1977 World Cross Country Championships, which was the year I was born. Coming back to complete the job in 2023 to win the World Cross Country Championships, aged 83. Like your marathon times are here. Boston Marathon over 40s record, 2:20:15 set in 1984. New York City Marathon over 50 record, 2:28:01. You're an author, you're a historian, TV commentator, Mr. Kathrine Switzer. Look, Roger, a question to you. You're 50% of an absolute powerhouse running couple. Is the spectacle, is this a romantic weekend, or is this a busman's holiday? Which
I'm not going to answer the first part. I was wondering why we came to the spectacle, and I think probably there were 3 reasons. When I first saw it announced, we were in America, I think, last year, and we love Nelson, and we love the Fitzingers, especially. He's just gone out of the room, but especially Pete. Pete was one of the best things that ever happened to New Zealand athletics when he was CEO of Athletics New Zealand for that period. We'd known them, we'd known Pete and Chrissy when they were courting in America. And in fact, now he's gone, I can tell you, we were all, us and our Kiwi friends, were all delighted when the newspaper described Pete as Chris's favourite router. So we go back a good way with them, and when I realised this was Fitzinger family, and then we also we come back to New Zealand and we spend half time here and half time in America, and we want to put back if we can, because we've taken a lot from the sport. It's given us a huge amount over the years, and we're not looking for celebrity or anything. We just wanted to come back, and this looked like a good event. Let me put it this way. I'm currently, one of the things I'm doing is I'm working on the early stages of a history of the early running movement. Currently, the dates I've got are 1960 to 1985, that quarter century when everything happened. And the phrase that keeps coming up as I write about all these developments and ideas and new races and everything else is creative energy. Because it was really an astonishing period of people who had full-time jobs, were running 100 miles a week, and they still created races. They created races, they created businesses, they had ideas, they started running travel agencies, running photo businesses. It was just an astonishing period of inventiveness. And the spectacle seemed to us to be like that. It's creative, it's new, it's really weird. I mean, who would think of putting a street miles together with a 100-mile trail run? I mean, it's a totally peculiar idea, but that's its charm. And it's based in a community of the size where it can be really significant. Put something on like this in Auckland and it would be only half noticed. This is the right place for it. This is the right people for it. And we just thought, okay, we'll go down there. We've got friends who have a property in Nelson, and so we can stay there. And we just wanted to do and contribute to it in some quiet way.
Well, thank you for coming. It's amazing. It's amazing that you're here. You've been involved in the sport for such a long time, and look, history may not repeat, but it very often rhymes. And amazing that I had no idea you were working on that book about the history of running in terms of the creativity and the early movement. But what's one thing that you've seen in the running world that seemingly take its course and then has made a comeback? Have you noticed any either trends or things that you thought, gosh, I thought that was done in the 80s, but suddenly we're roaring back in the 2020s?
No, I wouldn't say anything has gone down. It's been almost a progressive growth. I mean, that's one of the astonishing things about it in terms of sheer numbers. And then, of course, the running movement, which was, I mean, the real powerhouse of it was road running in America. But that was never the whole picture. And so the whole thing, other elements came in, like my background was cross-country originally. And that became part of it. And then it opened up, and other things were starting of their own accord, and they got kind of caught up in the energy and the power and the sponsorship and the money of the running movement, like mountain running, trail running. Fell running had been going for years, for centuries in England. People have been doing fell running. They used to run naked at one stage. I'm not sure if they do that tomorrow. But
I've seen close to naked before on a start line.
We were at a race a couple of years ago, and there was this man had nowhere to pin his bib. Should we put it that way?
So there are all these different, I don't know, they're not exactly offshoots from the running movement. They're their own movement, but they all fit together and make the running movement. So you've got these mass marathons, and they are, of course, really astonishing in terms of the scale and what they've done. And put it this way, it would be impossible now to write a history of New York or a history of London or a history of Berlin without mentioning the marathon. Now, that's happened since 1970. So that's a way of saying how important those events are socially. So I'm not sure if I'm quite answering your questions about trends, but city marathons are one of them, and running becoming big enough, powerful enough to close down the city streets. And if you think of our cities as being dominated by motor cars as they are. That cities aren't supposed to be ruled by motor cars. Cities are for people to do what they want to do in the city. And the runners have made a stand against that. And one day a year, that city closes down and the cars can piss off. Basically, they have a problem. They're just going to somehow find their way around it. They don't like it, but they've accepted it because running brings in so many millions and millions of dollars. So they can't argue. The economic picture is irrefutable. So it's a fascinating subject, and it's one that relates to some of the most important things in our society. Environmental movement, for instance. I mean, everything. All the people wanting to run on trails and run mountains, they're wanting to do what I always wanted to do, which was run on the land. Didn't want to run on the road. I mean, I ran on the road because marathons were important. I didn't really want to run on the track. I ran on the track because you could get some of the kind of intense competition that Sam described so well. I wrote a column once, article covering one of the Olympic Games, and my headline was "Seizing the Flying Moment." And it was just how important it is. There will be, even in a marathon, there will be a window of half a second, and what you do decides the race. Sam nailed it. It was really exactly right. But I always loved the contact with the land, and that's trail running and mountain running are doing that in their own way.
You've been present at some of the most iconic moments in the sport in the 20th and 21st century. What is one moment that you are glad that you saw live?
I'm going to give the answer I give when people say, "What's the greatest race you've ever seen?" And I've never had any doubt at all, and this has been the case since I saw it. It's Murray Halberg over 5,000 meters in Rome in 1960. And I had no idea in 1960. I was a student from England, a poor student, staying in a nunnery of all things, because it was cheap. They put us up in dormitories there. I think it was a girls' school, probably a nunnery school, and surrounded by chanting Germans who were all chanting Grodowski, Grodowski, Grodowski through the entire race. Grodowski finished second. But the way Murray Halberg ran that race, you see, I never had any finishing speed. And so he went with 3 laps to go. And I suddenly thought, if I could get fit enough and strong enough, maybe I could win races that way. Because I'd never win them by out sprinting anybody in Sam Tanner style. So I think I still stay with Murray as a moment, I think, when I kind of understood more about running, understood about the drama of it, loved all the kind of narrative of it. And he rewrote the narrative that day in a way that nobody expected. So that's one answer.
Did you understand that you were witnessing history at that point, or was it just more of an immediate that this is an incredible race?
Well, yes, in the way he ran it. I mean, it wasn't a world record or anything. Well, I understood I was witnessing history at those games when Herb Elliott ran the world record on the mile. I mean, that was the historic one. And we didn't quite realize when Snell won the 800, just that was this great, burly guy coming through on the inside. We didn't know we were seeing the beginning of one of the greatest careers in running history on that occasion. But yes, I mean, a major race like that is always historic. And I think one of the things I've loved about running, as a writer and a historian and scholar and so on, is the sense that running is history. You run the Boston. When I ran the Boston Marathon, I literally was thinking as I finished the first time, this is where they came. This is where Tarzan Brown came. This is where Johnny Kelly came. This is where Ron Hill came. This is where Kathrine Switzer came. I knew her by that time. You love that sense of the history and it's the same here.
Roger, I've got a question for you. You strike me as someone who's incredibly passionate about the sport, and you've got this amazing lens on it from lots of different angles. What keeps you involved in the sport? How have you got longevity in the sport?
Do you mean actively?
Either way, you can take it however you want.
I am still trying to run. So it's just, it's a stride. I got 10 minutes today, having told Kathrine. That's an increase. In America, I run with 4 other blokes, all roughly their age from 76 to 87. And we reckon we've got one working body between us. But I think it's the simplicity of the sport. I've always believed in a balanced life, and so I've never seen myself as only a runner. And in a way, that wasn't available when I started. We had to have jobs. You know, you were amateurs. There was no way you could do what Sam's doing. And what I would have done if that had been available, I don't know. I'm not sure I would have quite liked it, because I always liked being a full-time academic and also being a runner kind of on the side. I like that Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde thing or something. I think it's because it's so natural, so healthy. And I mean, there's all the cliches. The friends, you think. There's something about sharing a challenging activity, like running, that filters people in a way that other jobs don't. And so my lasting friends have been almost all from running, rather than from literature or from academia. And I still see a friend who I've been running with since 1950. We don't run together, we go to the theatre together now, but those friendships last. And that's a great value. And I think it's because running is challenging, and therefore the people that do it tend to be more interesting. I know that's not totally true, but there's a lot of truth in it.
Roger, I mean, taking that sort of it's not a duality, that sort of holism, that you're not just a runner. To close us off today, I'm going to ask you a question, sort of a question we ask everyone on Dirt Church Radio, and that we normally ask about a greatest run ever. But in your opinion, what has been the greatest book ever? What's a book that you would recommend to anyone, or a book that you reread, or a book that just every single time you turn the page, it just grabs you?
You mean books ever, or books about running?
You could choose that question.
Well, if it's books about running, I got the vanity of thinking that my writing is pretty good. But
your writing is you do all right.
But
Roger,
the one I give credit to is Kenny Moore, and his book called Bowerman and the Men of Oregon. There's never been writing quite like that on that scale. That is an absolutely superb piece of work, and it's probably the best book ever written about running. With mine as second, third, and fourth. That's a completely vain, arrogant point of view.
You've got to back yourself. Look, with that, we need to get out of the space. Thank you very much. Look, we've had the most incredible panel. So for those listening at home, Emma Timmis, Sam Tanner, Sam Harvey, Kathrine Switzer, Roger Robinson, please everyone, a big round of applause. And if you're running this weekend, have the best time. If you're supporting, have the best time. And we'll see you all back here next year at the Spectacle.
Thanks to Dirt Church Radio for your support of the sport. You do a great job.
Thank you. Wow, here we are. We're sitting at normally we're either baking hot, or freezing cold, or soaking wet.
In a dusty area.
Yeah, or up the side of a mountain somewhere. And here we are, we're sitting under a very nice shade umbrella in downtown Nelson.
On a Friday evening.
Drinking a homemade mint lemonade and resting our voices and our legs between the 100k start, which we just started, and the 10k start. It's amazing here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Absolute scenes.
Absolute scenes. What struck you about the event so far?
It's fun. There's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed just hanging out with everyone. Yeah. Warmth, good vibes. Yeah.
For me, it's actually the quality of the participants. Like,
Yeah.
it's a grassroots event. It's in its second year.
Yeah.
And you've got a bunch of Olympians walking around. You know, you've got Roger Robinson walking around. You've got
Yeah.
Kathrine Switzer walking around.
Yeah.
You've got some very elite people walking around. You've got, you know, Nathan Fa'avai doing ops. You know,
Yeah.
that's like, how many times has he been a world adventure racing champion? Like 7 times? Something ridiculous like that?
I don't know.
Like, one of the best to ever do the gig.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's people, you know, we're 10 feet away from people who are just going, oh, they were running 100K, oh my God. And it's this, it's like two worlds colliding. And I love that about events like the Spectacle.
Yeah, it's important that we do have events in public spaces, because then people see it. And like, there's that whole saying, if she can see it, she can be it. But, you know, if they can see it, they can be it.
Yeah.
And I think that was my gateway drug into ultra running, was spending time at a finish line and going, that person could do it, and that person could do it, and then why could I not do it? And it just makes you believe.
100%. 100% it makes you believe. And someone actually said that to me. There's a woman named Marguerite. She was on the start line. They stuck a mic in her face. I was like, what are you most looking forward to about this event? And she said, look, I was here on the start line and finish line last year and thought, I can bloody do that. So, you know, how good. I'm trying to think of another race in Aotearoa that starts, obviously, because of the nature, like the longer courses are particularly difficult.
Yeah.
They've staggered the starts. So the B wave, or the people who've decided that they're going to race a little bit less frantically, have started at 5 o'clock in the evening. I can't think of another race in New Zealand that races into the night.
Nah, we don't. That I can think of.
I mean, some amazing pros and some challenges there, right? Like you get the day to rest, you get the day to.
But people aren't going to be resting.
No, but you
not
should
when
be
it's
off your.
not when you're here.
You get the day to eat. You know, you can attend to your fueling.
Yeah.
Your bodily rhythm, I guess, is maintained somewhat for the first part. You know, the overnight part might throw that out a bit, but yeah. Incredible. And I guess the con is potentially you can have been up for, so if you get up at if you're up with nerves at 6 a.m,
or you do your pre-race, don't sleep the night before, then you're actually going into 2 nights of lack of sleep, which is tough.
Very tough. And we got to watch Guy Williams race some children.
Man,
which
I have not. I mean, we'd like to think we're comedians, but really, our day jobs are not that.
Well, our day jobs aren't even this.
And it has been fun, like the banter and the entertainment and the happiness is great.
Yeah, it is. Pull the pin out and stand back, isn't it?
Yeah, line them up and let them go.
So next thing we've got is the 10K relay, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, so they're trying to beat Rod Dixon's. No, not that one.
That's something different. They
That's
do
a different one.
They do the marathon, so they try to race Rod. So they try and beat Rod Dixon's. I think it's his New York time. And it's
When's that?
Not sure.
Okay.
But this is a 10K relay, so it's 2.5K.
Yeah.
It's a corporate thing, and then they've got the 10K, which we ran a bit of today when we ran up to the we ran to the hill leading up to the centre of New Zealand,
and then mostly hiked.
We power hiked it. And that was fantastic. And and
it was hot.
The
athletes they'll be feeling it. They have to manage themselves well out there.
100%.
And it sounds like they are by all accounts. So at least it's kind of starting to cool down a little bit coming into the evening.
Yeah, it's going to be it's amazing. It's funny, isn't it? The kind of as the year winds down and you get people with their races, people have been training for, like, you've got Spectacle, you've got Kepler, you've got Old Ghost, Tarawera, right? but it feels like this isn't a wind down. You know, it feels like we're at that point where it just will continue through until February. You know, there was traditionally Kepler was the last thing, and then it sort of just wound down a bit. Old Ghost was perhaps a little bit more low key. I mean, obviously awesome. Everyone who's there, they love the race, and it's amazing. You know, it's amazing. But it feels like it's a really nice addition to the running calendar.
Definitely, like it's a party. Like it's kind of like you're bringing that festive spirit. Like it's the kind of start of it. I think it'd be a cool race in the fact that you finish in the start of December and then you've got a few weeks of just taking it easy afterwards, which is perfect, right? Going into Christmas, like, yeah.
You can have that third helping.
Yeah, you totally can. Dessert.
You can have that third helping anyway, but you can psychologically, if you feel you feel like you might have got that reward going on. Well, we should probably rest our voices for a little bit before we're on the mic, and we will touch base later on.
Yeah.
We're here in, what's this hotel called?
The Rutherford.
After Ernest.
I don't know. Why is it called the Rutherford?
It's literally named after Ernest Rutherford, yeah.
Is it?
It's crazy.
Split the atom, get a hotel in Nelson. I don't know if this man needs introduction. We're in the Hotel Rutherford.
I definitely need an introduction. This is a podcast and you can't see me.
But we can hear your voice.
Yeah. You reckon it's that well known amongst people who are into ultra marathon running? I don't reckon anyone who listens to your podcast even knows who I am.
Okay, who are you?
I need an introduction. Don't make me introduce myself. My name's Guy Williams. I'm a comedian from New Zealand.
And Guy's just telling us he has a show called New Zealand Today.
New Zealand Today and New Zealand Tomorrow is the latest season, yeah.
New Zealand Tomorrow?
Yeah,
What's that about?
I mean, it doesn't sound like very good comedy. It's about water issues in South Canterbury. I'm not joking. It's crazy, eh? Every time I pitch it to someone, I'm like, that's the worst pitch you've ever heard in your life, eh? It's funny. I promise you it's funny. I go to Waimate, which is a beautiful small town. Anyway, I'm on a marathon running podcast. Why are we talking about that? I'm going to talk about my amazing endurance skills.
So today, why are you here this weekend, Guy?
I'm here literally because one of my best childhood friends, Julian Matthews, runs the stupidest running race I've ever seen in my life, where people run 100 miles or some shit. It's crazy. And I just came here to support him because he gave me a call.
Yeah.
So I'm literally like the mascot. Yeah.
You're the mascot?
I just hang out here. I love it.
What are you currently wearing?
I'm wearing a... For the audience, I'm wearing my robe because it's sexy, and running is just interesting because it's a very fun bunch of people who people love and running love colourful clothes, right? I don't understand that.
Yeah,
but it's also very serious. So I'm here to make it a bit more silly. I'm a silly person.
You're a silly person.
Yeah, because I'm really interested in running. Like people take this it's like almost like being part of a religion or a cult, right? It's like pretty passionate.
It's quite cultish, I'll admit that.
Which is cool. Like everyone's looking for a community. It's like people find their people here. It's really rad. But I must say, I mean, I want to ask you guys questions because I just don't know what's going on.
Interesting.
I don't know what this is. Yeah.
I grew up with Monty Beethan. We went to school together.
Wow, the rugby league player, yeah.
And you grew up with Julian Matthews.
Yeah.
And Monty Beethan from day dot was like, I'm going to be a professional rugby league player. And we were all like, okay, what's that? You know.
Yeah.
Was Julian like that? Was he like, I'm going to the Olympics? You're like, whatever, Julian.
Definitely not. So Julian played every sport with me. Like literally his granddad and my dad coached all our teams. Right. We were terrible at everything. We did table tennis, rugby, cricket, basketball. Didn't do soccer, weirdly. Swimming, running, every type of athletics. And we were pretty bad at all of them. But Julian was the only one from our year who had a bit of skill. And he was a really good basketball player. He played for pretty funny. He played for the New Zealand youth team that went to America, and they got their ass kicked by America so badly that like some of their players started crying during the game. These are like 15, 16-year-old boys. And to be honest, I would too. Absolutely. I would too, because it was that moment. Because we were all like, for me personally, I was like a New Zealand I was like a good Nelson player, right?
Yeah.
As soon as I went to Auckland and saw the talent in Auckland, I was like, I'm not going to make it as a pro, right?
Yeah.
These guys were good Auckland players who would go to the best of New Zealand and they'd go to America and they'd stand next to, these were household names at the time. Even at high school, these guys were famous. OJ Mayo, he was on the cover of Slam magazine, the biggest basketball magazine, and Greg Oden, and I think it was like probably their dreams dying. Right. And that actually might even been when Julian realised I should focus on running. But Julian was like good at every sport, you know, like he maybe could have been a rugby player if he'd focused on rugby. He could have been a decent basketball player if he'd focused on basketball, but he chose running, which was an idiotic idea because it's got to be, because think about it. Think about the amount of people in New Zealand who make money as rugby players, so many.
Yeah.
The number of people who make, in New Zealand, not many people make money off basketball, but like if you travel the world, there's so many basketball jobs out there. Running, I always think he fucked that up because no one makes a living as a runner really, except for like the very elites of the elites.
Yeah.
Oh, is it more than I think? Maybe.
Well, I mean,
How many
maybe
pro
now
runners
it's
in New Zealand?
influencing.
I would say less than 50, right?
Oh, yeah, less than 50.
Yeah.
But I guess there's more of that kind of like, I don't know, that niche kind of influencing where you're.
Oh, yeah, you run
You know,
Instagram accounts
but
and do like
yeah.
yoga clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I totally get that. But I'm like, if you want to be a professional basketball
Yeah.
player, it's a lot more achievable.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally people who make a living and they play for the Nelson Giants. That's how niche
Wow.
basketball is. Yeah, so it's just another thing. But I will say, though, that I got so much enjoyment out of following Julian's running career. Like, it's like, there is something magic about the Olympics, and the fact he made it there is like you know you can't make the Olympics as a rugby player. Actually, you can now because the sevens exist, right? You can, but like Olympic sevens does not compare to the 1500. There's something magical in New Zealand culture about that
Absolutely.
as well, and it's like that's why Julian put on this event is because he wants running to take. We're at the Spectacle, by the way. Do people even know what that is? Did we set that up?
We've set that up.
We've set that up. Okay,
set that
okay.
up.
This is like a running festival that does everything from ultra marathons to what do you guys call it? Like ultra running or something?
Yeah, just trail and ultra marathon running.
Which I've got a lot of complaints about, but like he wants to try and bring running back in the way that
What's your
Peter
main
Snell and
complaint?
John Walker. The marketing of running is a shit show. Like the fact that it's
Agreed.
called 100 miles and 100 kilometers, it fucks me off every time. I got down this morning, I didn't know what we were sending off. And it's a huge difference, 160 Ks versus 100 Ks.
Completely.
And we've got to like label those correctly. I think the problem is, right, that we had marathons, which is obviously, in my mind, as a normie, that was the longest anyone could ever run. And then there was an ultra marathon, which is for sickos. Would that be 100 Ks or just anything
It's
over?
anything over a marathon, but generally the agreed is anything north of sort of 45 to 50. If you, 50, you really can sort of hang your hat in and say I ran an ultra marathon. If you're running a marathon, and this is the thing, you're exactly right. Running a marathon is incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
You know,
I can't even, I'm actually afraid of doing it. Like people go, when are you going to enter this guy? And I was like, I'm scared of even doing I'm honestly scared of doing a half marathon. Like it's just the amount of mental fortitude that these athletes have is just so impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 100%. But yeah, anything over sort of 50K would be
50K. So a marathon's what, 42?
42.2, yeah.
And so, I mean, look, I'm not a branding expert, but I would say we need to start using is it like Latin words or whatever you could call one, a gigathon, and then like that sort of thing, you know? No, I'm serious.
We're here at the Quexadeca Hackathon.
Yeah. But that's what you need to do because ultramarathon impressed me. I didn't know what that was. Ironman, that's a good one. Yeah. Everyone knows what an Ironman is, and that's got branding. It's a long fucking race up a big hill, right? And that's considered to be the elite of the elite. But now I'd say 100 miles would be bigger than an Ironman, wouldn't it?
We actually have athletes that have done them, and so yes, 100 miles takes people longer than an Ironman would. Like if you're an
How long
elite,
is an Ironman?
Well,
Depends. And
Yeah.
this is the thing, we're going to annoy you because it gets into miles again. So it's, what's it, 70.3? And then, apologies to the Iron Men
Community.
the Iron Man community out there. And Peps, if you're listening. But if, it's a 70.3 and then,
the Ironman.
yeah.
So I think the Ironman has like, what's the swim? Is it a 1 and a bit K swim?
So no, that's a half Ironman. So
Oh, is it
Oh
2K
my
swim?
God,
Exactly.
you guys, I don't want to brag, but you guys are the smartest running people I've ever met in my life.
Well, that's funny because we're two of the dumbest running people.
Well, just
Especially me.
the fact that you know, like, because it's really hard to get a combination of people who know about the sport and also have personality. This is an issue. That wasn't an insult to runners.
Oh, you
Bas-
have no personality.
Basketball has the same problem.
It's
Yeah.
constructive critique.
Rugby has that problem, right? It's like who's a charismatic person in the All Blacks right now?
But Murray Mixted, like his commentary was.
That guy has been dead for
best.
45 years.
I remember one time I was sitting in my lounge with my parents and their friends who are quite old.
Yeah.
And watching a game, and Murray Mixed is like, oh, he went through there smoother than a Brazilian. And I was like, oh. and it slipped over the top of my family's heads, and I'm there laughing so much.
Oh, your parents didn't even know what that meant.
No, I think it just bypassed
Not
them.
the rep, mate.
Yeah. So that's fascinating because
Caleb
like,
Clark.
pardon?
Caleb Clark.
He's a nice guy.
He's charismatic.
Is he charismatic? Okay. I'm sure they exist, but the All Blacks also don't let them out. But like,
exact media training. Is a
but
big
media
thing.
training and it's just hard. So I think you guys are doing a wonderful job. But back to my insane rant for a second. Then I think I've come up with a solution, and that's you just need to pick kilometres or miles and stick with it.
agree, yeah.
And New Zealanders would be fine to do miles.
Nah, we wouldn't.
Okay.
Not at all.
So, but why? Because it just annoys me. So there's a 100-kilometre and a 100-mile race. Why is there a distinction there? Why is there?
I think the 100-mile because it was, well, the first 100-mile was Comrades, wasn't it? Oh no, first ultra marathon. Sorry, it's not. Yeah, sorry. A South African one was the first ultra marathon, and the growth of the Western States endurance run in the 70s which was the Comrades Cup, and the thing. So the law behind that was there was this chiropractor. Make of that what you will with the growth of the sport. His name was Gordy Ainsley, and he was going to do this 100-mile horse race that they had in California called the Confederates Cup.
What, sitting on a horse?
Yeah, it's all leading your horse, carrying your horse. But his horse got a sore leg and couldn't do it. So he thought, to hell, I'll run it.
Fucking good on him.
And he did it in under 24 hours, didn't he? And that was sort became the first one, and that became Western States.
That's a cool origin story as well for marketing campaigns. Would most of this, or the centre of the sport, would it be American?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, America and Europe and Asia's huge now.
Okay, but every race you go, it's not just Nelson. Everywhere you go in the world, they've got this problem where they have races called 100K and races called 100 miles.
Yeah, but I don't think people genuinely see it as a problem. The term miler takes on a massive significance.
Yeah.
So to get that miler,
What does miler mean?
100 miles. So a miler is 100 miles.
So is it just someone who completes it, you're a miler then?
Or you do the miler.
Just okay, because I guess it's what makes a community. Like that's what we're all doing at the end of the day. We're all just searching for a community.
Absolutely.
And people find their people here, which is so beautiful. And it's like, yeah, we've all got some form of severe neurodiversity. I just got diagnosed with ADHD, so I'm the opposite. Probably I could not concentrate for 25 hours in a row. But like, if you want to grow the sport, which I think there's real potential for, and that's what Julian's told me that he's passionate about, and just making it appeal to normies or your grandma who comes down to cheer you on. Yeah. It's just like, if we could just use some measurements that just everyone vaguely understood, it would be more fun for everyone. And the fact that there's 100K and because this is going to sound rude, but if you're doing the 100K, it feels a bit shit if there's guys here doing the 100 miles.
It's a different beast though.
Oh.
It's a completely different beast.
So you guys feel we do the 100K.
Totally.
I've done the 100K and I've failed at 100 miles. So
wow.
If the other person who hosts this podcast here, he'd be like, no, because he's done all of them.
Yeah.
But
Not the spectacle.
he hasn't done the spectacle yet. But it is when you cross that 100K barrier, so it's like anything. It's like the people at the front. So what did Dan Jones win Tarawera in this year?
Oh, he won it in what was it? 7:40 or something?
So he ran 100K in 7 hours and 40 minutes.
Wow.
And this is a guy from, he's from Whakatane.
I'm going to be honest with you, I just said wow there. I don't know if that's impressive or not. I couldn't do it.
So that's if it, okay.
What's the world record time? I have no idea.
Oh, but again, that depends if it's around a track or on the road.
Oh.
So this is off-road.
The artistry, yeah, wow.
Yeah, so it's the terrain. So 7 hours 40. What's that? That's like a 3.5 hour. 3 hour.
Sorry,
40.
man. I don't even know what a good 1500 meter time is, and I consider
Well,
myself to be a fan.
3:26, I guess, for Sam Tanner was talking about.
Okay, but just.
So it's 50K in about a little over 3.5 hours.
But are you saying that because you said he did it in 7 hours 40? Is that like world class?
Yes.
Is that like close to the best in the world?
He's a professional athlete. But
oh yeah, wow.
If you think about it from a 50K, you've split it in half. That's a 3.5 hour or 3 hour 40 minute 50K off road.
Wow.
So if most people would give their left arm to do a 3 hour 40 minute marathon on road, and he did a 50K, 3.5 hours twice.
Wow. Yeah. So it's just like unbelievable speed and endurance combined.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, okay, wow. So I've sworn a lot. I don't know if you have swearing on this podcast, but...
We do have swearing on the podcast.
Okay, thank God. Or it's like if you have to beep for the kids or anything like that. Well, that's awesome that you guys are doing this. Is that part of you guys' work on the podcast, is to try and make it more accessible to idiots like me?
Well, idiots like us, I think. And that's the that's the thing, though. You're right. There can be there's barriers to entry to the sport. One of them is, and I think it's the elephant in the room. We are, it's getting less so now, which I'm really grateful for. We're a pretty hegemonious, privileged sport. There's a high barrier of cost to entry. So which
is funny because like everyone can do running, but
just lace up some shoes.
But traveling is a part of it, right?
Traveling,
and stuff like
time
that.
off work, time to train.
Time off work, that's crazy.
Yeah. Time off work.
Yeah.
I mean, even us, we've taken time off work to come here to do this.
Wicked.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. Fascinating. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So just to, but I wasn't even talking about getting more people into the sport. I was just talking about just people who just casually follow it,
And that's the thing, when you have events like this, so the Spectacle, what else thinking about? Like Crater Rim in Christchurch, W2K in Wellington, Kepler, which is on this weekend. One of that race sells out within about 4 seconds. Like literally 4 seconds. Like you have to have your finger on the button.
Wow.
And the whole town, not so much Wellington, but like large proportions of the town or large proportions of the community turn out to watch.
Yeah.
And like this, it's based in, so mum and dad are out at the shops on a Saturday, what day is it? On a Friday, walking through, and they're going to come and watch. They're going to come watch the 10K tonight, and it's the gateway drug. It's like, hey, have a little taste of this.
Yeah. Oh, and it's all about marketing, right? And it's just fascinating because it's like the more people hear about it. I've definitely heard of the Kepler. How many people into that? How many?
So it's capped at, I think it's 450. They have 300 and
wow.
They have 250 for the Luxmore, and I think 350 or 400 for the Kepler.
Is there a Julia was talking about trying to broadcast it as well, and like is there kind of a market for that? I think we're live streaming the Spectacle.
There's a huge market for live stream on with ultramarathons and with the bigger races like the UTMB races and Western States. It is crazy, dude. Like it started off, it feels like it's gone from like the Stone Age to the space race. Like it used to be on Twitter, and you'd have one guy named Brian Powell running around, like literally one dude, and Megan Hicks running around like updating stuff on Twitter.
Wow.
And it would be refreshing. Now you've got like dudes with like Starlink on mountain e-bikes.
Wow.
Following, all running. And these are elite runners running with elite runners trying to like
cover it.
Going downhill. Yeah, it's madness. The live streams are incredibly popular.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. Because I saw Athletics New Zealand announced the other day that they're doing they're going to get televised again. And I was like, it's hard to explain, but like watching a big running race, I loved watching the Kiwi 100%. And he did the tri. I always enjoy the triathlon. I guess it's because it's quite big. Triathlon's quite big in New Zealand at the Olympics, and it's like, yeah, I'll watch a guy run and swim for 3 hours, and I'll love it. It's a bit like Test match cricket. It's like there's a weird, like relaxing part of it,
Yeah.
And it also inspires you. You go, I got to go do a swim, and then you do it, and you're like, it's actually harder than it looks.
Yeah, I suck at swimming. That's it, eh? And it's incredible. Right. Well, look. What we've agreed on today and what we've learned is that running, pick up your game and get one metric.
Well, I might be a piece of shit because I'm like, this is for me specifically, Guy Williams. This is what I want, but I'm an idiot. So it's like if everyone else is happy with the way it is, but I'm like, if you want to grow it, I reckon let's just figure out what things are called, even the spectacle is like, I was like, Julian, like call it the Nelson Adventure Race, or so people know where it is and what it is, because people go to the spectacle, what is that?
So I genuinely worked out on Friday. I was like, oh, it's related to the fact that he's not optometrist or his dad.
Yeah, that's a crazy pun, eh?
I was like, oh, now this makes sense.
Yeah. But it's also he wants it to be a visual feast.
Yeah, and they are actually doing a lot of things differently to what you see at other races. Like they are making it more spectacular.
We've got a concert. We've got the Black Seeds. It doesn't get much better than that. Like something that like my friends who don't give a shit about running, they'll come and like watch the elites and then stay for the concert. It's like rad.
Fun fact, Barrett Hocking, respect Barrett Hocking, trumpet player in the Black Seeds, amazing ultra runner and adventure racer.
Oh, is he genuinely known for that? He's not just a guy who does it.
No, he's good. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Did coast to coast, and he's a legend. He's just
wow.
a super nice man.
Wow.
Guy, I feel like we've got some unfinished business here, though. I'd love to see you tackle a running race.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not that good to see. I'm just like because I have really good normally stamina endurance, but I'm just incredibly slow.
That's
My whole
okay.
career when I used to run against Julian, so it's like you can see it, but you always watch a guy just plodding.
Yeah, but Julian's your benchmark. Like, you go and watch these people running 100 miles. Yeah,
That's
Julian's everyone's
true.
benchmark. Go and watch these people running 100 miles. They're not sprinting off the start line. They're just doing a little jog, and that's all you need to do when you do this stuff.
The funniest thing for
I can do it.
it's 8:00. It's 8:00 in the morning, and we just set off the milers. Look at me learning the lingo. The 100 milers, and it was the elite group, the A group, and they took off and. I don't want to put it all on Nathan for Avai, but I don't know if he quite told everyone they had to turn right.
Yeah.
And everyone was running the wrong way and we had to go, wrong way. So good, but they're on the right way now. And I don't know how many times I'm going to get lost in the next 25 hours, but may God have mercy on their souls. And just thanks to you guys, A, for being here because previously last year it was just me on the mic and it was idiotic. So the fact you guys are here to give people a bit of insight and to do this podcast is wicked. So cheers for having me.
All right, we're with Blake Szymanski, winner of the second edition of the Spectacle 100-mile race. How you feeling, man?
Good. Been better, been worse. So.
That's a typical reticent reply, but you smoked that second lap. You were our alarm clock. You woke us out of bed because they were like, get down here. He's fissing. Get down here by 6:15. And it's 7 minutes past 6 and you've already got changed.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely felt slow with the second one, but that's a bit of a surprise that it was quicker. So.
How was the day?
It was good. It was hot yesterday. And then the night was good. It wasn't too cold. So, yeah, it's good.
What was your favourite part of the course?
Probably going up to Mount Dunn the first time in the day. That was cool. Nice views, good. Kind of tough, but it was cool.
What does this mean to you? This is one of the toughest 100-mile races in the calendar, and it's a small field, but it's a very tough race. It doesn't negate the achievement. What does it mean to finish?
Yeah, I'm stoked. I don't really have much experience running like technical stuff like that, but it was fun, and yeah, I'm pretty stoked with the win.
What are you up to for the rest of the year? Are you relaxing? You got a period of recovery, or are you straight back into it for to something else?
Couple of weeks recovery, and then I'll start my Taonga training.
Okay, in it for the 100 miles there?
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that. What have you enjoyed about this event?
The views are insane. I don't think I've run anything that's had like views like that before, and just the terrain was cool. Nice change from what I'm used to, and yeah, it'll be cool as well today. See the other distances, watch the fast guys do the mile this afternoon, and Black Seeds tonight should be cool if I'm awake.
Are you gonna be up for it?
I'll try sleep today and then come back. Yeah.
Hit the dance floor?
No, I'll be sitting down.
Oh, cool. Oh, well, it's, I guess is this kind of first big 100-mile win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only my second 100-mile, so
Yeah.
yeah, stoked.
So you were second last year?
No, I didn't do it last year. This is my first time down here.
What was the last one you did?
Taonga at
Oh,
the
yeah,
start of this
cool.
year. Yeah.
And how did that go?
It was a good. I guess I went pretty good for my first one. It was a good learning experience. I went out way too quick, so I was a bit smarter today with how I paced it.
Yeah.
Which was good.
And what's the goal for Tarawera 2026?
Beat last year's time, I guess, and just try to be a bit more consistent with my pacing, not go up quick and try hang with the front guys. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess that's different because, in the last 24 hours, well, less than that, you obviously were just running solo pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. I didn't really see anyone the entire time, really.
Yeah.
It was good to see the people that started in the early one, kind of.
Oh, yeah, cool,
You got to see somebody and have a little chat rather than just being by yourself the entire time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, good. And you got your parents as crew?
Yeah. They are been great. Couldn't have asked for anything more.
Maybe just a little bit less grief about the tights, eh?
Yeah, just not giving me shit about my shorts, but that's all right. It's only one thing.
Done everything wrong. Dad's just saying you didn't have a whinge about anything this time. Must have done everything right. That's pretty good going.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
cool.
did good.
Most importantly, and seeing the tattoo on your leg, do you think with Barnett back, this year is the Warriors' year?
Definitely. 2026 up the wires.
Yeah,
Oh,
up
yeah.
the wires. Fantastic. Okay, thanks, man. Well done.
Sweet. Thanks,
And,
guys.
Yeah, rest well.
Thank you.
It is a Dirt Church Radio tradition to do the morning after the night before post or chat. What a big day at the Spectacle. I mean, we were on the mics for 14 hours. We were doing things solidly all day. It was a big day.
It was a big day. But it didn't stop there.
No, it did not stop there. So, but let's run it down. I mean, we had our predicted times for the 100-mile finishes.
Yeah.
And if last year was anything to go by, that would have been blown out a bit, right? Because everyone was finding it a lot more difficult. So they were like, well, the predicted first finisher is about 9 o'clock in the morning. And we said, well, what happens if it's earlier? So we wrote our names down on the whiteboard in the ops room, like, give us a call if it's all going, if anyone's just fizzing at the bung and smashing it. And sure enough, we got the early wake-up call.
Yeah.
Because Blake Szymanski was storming home. And he managed to, we said, well, we'll be there by 6 o'clock. And it was 5:30 when we got the call. And 5 to 6, we're standing in the lobby and he's bloody home.
Yeah. He just spoke that last section.
Yeah, he went off like a bomb, man did. And smashed it home in 21 hours and change. What a huge run. And what I'm sure would have been some very trying, challenging conditions with the heat and the trail.
Yeah, not easy. Finishing in the cool of the morning. He seemed pretty stoked too. That's his first big 100-mile win. He'd run Tarawera before. And I think he was first at Taupo 70k in October, hey? But yeah, this will mean a lot.
And he ran the length for New Zealand as well.
Yeah. This will mean a lot to him. Like, he seemed pretty stoked yesterday. Well, like, emotional rather, I would say, about it, which you're tired, you run 100 miles and it's pretty awesome, so I can understand that.
His parents giving him grief about his half tights.
Yeah. Man, that was funny. Nothing like that.
Put some more modest shorts on, son.
You've just been running for 100 miles through the mountains in the heat and the night, and then your parents are just like, mate, those tights are too tight.
Put some shorts on. Yeah. I am wearing shorts. And then the day continued, didn't it? It really, I mean, very, very exciting starts and finishes throughout the day.
Yeah.
My favourite was the 50k A wave at
they were fun.
8 o'clock. That was the
good energy
party wave for me. 22k, very focused, very reserved, very nervous. I got that sense that they were.
Well, it's pretty beastie 22K. So
Yeah.
you can understand if it's, if you know it or if it's a distance that's new to you, it would be daunting.
Yeah. The thing that, you go to enough events, we're good at doing trail commentary. We know it. When the road events kicked off, that's when I felt like I was really sort of being taken to school a bit, in terms of it felt like the whole town was there.
Yeah.
And then all these things were happening. We had the Whānau House relay, trying to, how many people? It appeared that there's about 1 million people racing 250 metres at a time, trying to break
Oh, the maths is too hard for me
Rod
right
Dixon's 1983 New York Marathon win.
What's that, 160 something people?
Something like that.
That's wild. Yeah, it was, and they were sending it.
Yeah, full send.
They get their baton and they're off.
They're off, yeah. Corporate relay, the
mascot one.
The mascot run.
That was awesome.
The 5K, which
Yeah,
Oscar
5K.
Oscar won in, was it 15:10?
Yeah.
That was his.
Yeah.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
You think about that. And then the elite mile.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was cool.
We were up on the stage because we were sort of keeping a vantage point for the trail finishers, and so we got to watch it from up there. And I mean, I was so excited. I didn't think I'd get that excited. I mean, I thought it'd be amazing. We talked to you'll hear a conversation, or you will have heard a conversation with Santana.
Yeah.
But seeing him, being pushed by that gentleman Festus. He's the 4th fastest 1500 metre runner.
Yeah, in the world.
In the world.
Yeah.
Which is...
And the other cool thing with that race is that they have women versus men, and the women get a 33-second head start on the guys. So there's a prize for overall, and then there's a prize for, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth woman, first, second, third, fourth, fifth man. So it's quite interesting because they give them a handicap, an appropriate handicap, and to see who can come out on top. So it's like as they get closer to the finish line, it's narrowing, like you've got a woman in the lead and then it's narrowing and it's narrowing. It's like, what's going to happen? So it was pretty close. Yeah. It's all kind of down to the final meters there.
It was.
Yeah.
Sam with his kick and... 4:02.
4:02 for, that was
a
pretty
mile
cool.
on the road. So this isn't on the track that looked like it was... I mean, it was flat in terms of what we would explain flat to be, but there was definitely...
Yeah, still some rollers.
Yeah, some rollers.
Yeah.
It was... it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible to see human beings moving that quickly.
Yeah, and their undies too.
Yeah, a few of them were in their undies.
I was like, this is the difference between a road race and a trail race. You see people running around their undies. It's so weird. Yeah. Although, to be fair, we've seen that guy at Cozzy who was in his budgie smugglers.
We have seen people doing ultramarathons in their undies as well.
But it's quite unusual, really.
Yeah. And things wrapped up, and then we just pushed on.
Because there's a concert, the Black Seeds concert. So, we have this blooming, 14-hour day, and then it's like, but the Black Seeds are playing. So, down to the town square, and it's just a free concert for the whole of town, which is, there was these nerdy young men behind us, and they're chatting away, and they're just like, this is a big day for Nelson. And I was like, it actually is. Yeah. And Annie and Julian, the event founders, had hired out the free house just beside the concert, which looks down on it all. And I was saying to them, I hope that you're looking at this just going, man, we shut down a whole city. The scale of it just is so astounding to me that not only have you had this massive event where there's all these different runs happening, so much to and then you've got a concert.
Shut down the city square,
Yeah. So you're like a dual event organiser. But man, it was fun. Like, you saw people with their spectacle caps on, and like everyone's having a boogie. Barrett Hocking is smashing it out up there after his run, and it was just such a great vibe. Like,
Yeah, it was very cool, and it was very cool. I don't know what you think from a commentary perspective.
Yeah.
Like, they're always big days, no matter where you were, no matter where you are. And my voice isn't like this because of commentating. My voice is like this because of shouting at the Black Seeds. And afterwards. But it certainly felt like certainly the most comfortable trip I've ever done.
Oh, it was a cool one.
In terms of creature comfort, so that was nice.
Yeah. Can I just say the party afterwards too? Like, there was the kind of the spectacle after party, and it was so funny. Like, just how everyone came together, and there's like people standing on tables doing speeches and cheering and clapping and yahooing. It was like just this really big celebration afterwards as well, which was really fun. Like, kind of all these different people that have come together, put a race on.
Yeah.
Like, you've got the videographer team, you've got the Athletics New Zealand team, you've got us randos that are just joining in where we can. But it was, it was just thoroughly enjoyable.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyable. So here we are, and I hope that next year, my hope for them is that they consolidate and just kind of, keep doing what they're doing. I mean,
there's a lot of learning, right? Like, with
learning.
those kind of early events, and it takes time to kind of embed things or streamline things. But I think the beauty of this is that there's so much passion behind it. Like, they're both amazing runners in their own right, and you've also got Nathan Whānau and Jodie and them on the team as well. So there's just this really big depth of experience and passion in the running and outdoors space, which can only be a good thing, right, when you're working from a place of passion.
Yeah, and that was another thing for me, being how absolutely humble everyone is. And we see this again, we see this most places we go away. Everyone is very, very, very unassuming. And most people are unassuming. And I didn't even know, and I'm not a massive athletics person, I didn't know Julian Matthews had been to the Olympics.
Yeah.
He never told me that he'd been to the Olympics. He never mentioned it.
No.
The temptation would be, if that was part of your identity, that you'd reach the pinnacle of amateur sport, that you might work that into the combo somewhere. He didn't.
Yeah.
And, hanging out with Kathrine Switzer, Roger Robinson, I mean, just Nathan Whānau, like 8 million times adventure racing world champion, he feels safe. I just want him to carry me around. That's the vibe I get with Nathan. He had that huge backpack. I was like, if I could get in there, you could just carry me around places.
Light me a fire and feed me some food.
Absolutely. We could have dehydrated meals. Just what an amazing weekend. So if you're after a super challenging and achievable, I would say, 100 mile, 100K, 50K, 22K run, on the trails, 10K run on the trails.
Yeah, 10K relay. I reckon that would be pretty fun too.
Yeah. Come down to Nelson next December, and if you have some sort of time travel device, you could try and fit in the other events.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's a big weekend on the calendar, but definitely pay this one's in mind.
Oh, yeah, and it's a great spot too. Like, we're saying farewell to Nelson today, but absolutely beautiful day. You're surrounded by hills. You've got the ocean in the distance. It's a funky little city. So great place for a holiday as well, which probably next year I should plan.
We are not being paid by or affiliated with Nelson
No.
Council. We would just say we're just both quite taken with that. Right, we should probably get to the airport.
Sweet.
Stay tuned for our Kepler Live show coming at you on Saturday with the mighty aforementioned Andrew McDowell. Mā te wā.